depending on where you are and where you decide to move, is going to determine the kind of opportunities that you have. There's passive income where people can earn money, passively. YouTube, AdSense, some type of online business where it really doesn't matter. You're selling something, where you're distributing products online, via mail. All of these are good ideas. But for the vast majority of people that don't have to have or don't have passive income, you have active income. Meaning that you got to get out and you have to work. Like me, I got to get out in order to make a buck. I got to get out and I got to do something. And you can work a job. You can be self-employed like I am. Or you can be a business owner where you employ others. Now, occasionally I do bring in help to work projects depending on the size and scope of that project for the vast majority of times, and I'll get it out in another video. I'll do one-man projects because it's just easier just to deal with, me. I don't have to rely on someone else. And people in this day and age is becoming more and more unreliable. The stuff that I've experienced is crazy. Once hired a guy to come in and paid for his transportation expenses, we're going to pay him $1,000. And he turned around and he told me, after missing the bus and everything, that he forgot that he had to go to jail. How the hell are you going to forget that you have to go to jail? But this is the kind of stuff that you deal with when you, especially when you're working in something where you have to work with your hands. But when you're moving out to the country, because that's preferably the best place to be, especially when the economy is doing what it's doing. It's going to be good to develop some type of business or real skill. Trucking, carpentry work. I see a lot of brothers that are out in the country. They're doing decking businesses. They're doing carpentry business, like myself. I've done decks before. They're doing sheetrock businesses. They're doing painting businesses. These are the businesses that I see. Brothers that are actually getting after and actually producing something good, because these are cash businesses for the most part. But this is why I don't recommend you move to a location where the only job that you have is a Dollar General job or a Walmart job. Now, of course, if you're used to working those kinds of jobs, then it's not going to be anything for you. However, if you're not like me, if I come from a corporate background, working Dollar General is just not an option for me. Working Walmart is just not an option for me. Especially, for a couple of different reasons. Not only because it's a slave wage job, and material costs money. Things cost money, and it costs more. You're not going to make enough money to cover your basic expenses and build at the same time. These are jobs that's just going to give you just enough money to survive. Now, everybody has their own level of way in which they want to live. Now, a lot of people live off-grid, and I'm looking to move off-grid, meaning that, solar, propane, wood stoves, things of that nature, where you can be off-grid, but at the same time, you can develop or have a good lifestyle where, you have running water, you have a toilet that flushes, you have a septic tank, because the septic tank is off-grid. But it's just about the level of lifestyle and comfort that you want to enjoy. But You're not going to get to that level on a Walmart job. You're just not going to do it. So the key is that, if you're going to move to a location where there's opportunity. I mean, I recommend being in between a half hour to an hour from any kind of minor city, I call it, where the residence is like 20 or 10,000 people. But you're still relatively out in the country where, you could drive 45 minutes, a half hour, and still be out in the country in a rural setting. Because if you move out in these rural settings, and there's no opportunity, I mean, I know certain locations, I'm not going to name them, but I would not recommend, especially if you're a black person. I mean, it's just the reality of the situation. A lot of white people live out in the country, and you're going to experience racism. But if you don't know how to maneuver and deal with people, it's just going to be a whole lot more difficult and dangerous in certain situations. So not only are you in a situation where there are no opportunities to even do business. I mean, I got to overcome a lot just to be out here. And I've said over and over again, the majority of my customers are white out-of-towners that moved to the country in order to live a better life. Just like me, they moved out of the country. There's very few customers that I have that actually grew up and lived here. I've told you about those experiences. But the idea is that you're going to have to be in a situation as to where you can develop some type of business. Now, if you can do passive income, online business, something like that, then that's great, because then that means that you can be out on a homestead and doing work and having that passive income coming. That's a great thing. But again, if you can't, you're going to have to develop some type of active income. And that's why I always recommend some type of cash business where you have a good cash inflow coming in, and you can minimize your tax burden. That's the best kind of situation that you can be in, because at the end of the day, if you're working at Walmart or Dollar Tree, not only are they paying you a shitty wage, you're getting taxed to death. In addition to that, they're going to work your damn hands to the bone. It's just not a good combination. So try and develop some type of skill set. This is why I say over and over again, develop some type of skill set where, you can make money, a good amount of money. You know how much it costs to do? Google how much it costs to do an average bathroom remodel or kitchen remodel or to build a deck, and you can see that these jobs, these building projects run into the thousands of dollars. And it takes me about 10 days to do a bathroom remodel, about 12 days to 10 days to do a kitchen remodel. So the idea is that the opportunities are there, the cash flow is good, but in addition to that, not only from a cash flow perspective and a tax perspective, I get to move freely. See, if you're working a job, you just can't move just like that. You just can't, just take off for a feast day or something like that, just like that. You can't do it because you got to work a job. But in addition to that, you can't work the Sabbath. Well, I know a lot of people who do work the Sabbath. But that's neither here nor there. You know what I'm saying? They're doing what they got to do. Even if it requires them to break the Sabbath. I mean, I don't agree with that. But it's neither here nor there. The idea is that I can move freely. I can be where I want to be, where I need to be. If there's an emergency, I can just up and stop and doing what I'm doing and be on a situation or address a situation quickly. You can't do that if you're working a job. And why I always stress these jobs is because out in the country, all there is low level slave wage jobs. All there is the best the Lowe's or the Home Depot or the Tractor Supply or the Walmart or the Wendy's or the McDonald's or the CNA job. Those are the only jobs that are available in the country. It'll be hard pressed to find a good paying job in the country. So you're going to have to create your own good paying job. And this is, again, why a lot of people who are accustomed to a certain lifestyle don't want to move out to the country because they don't want to work these jobs. And I get it, I understand it, but at the end of the day, if you lack skills and lack opportunity, this is what you're going to have to do. That's just the reality of the situation. But it's going to be much, much more difficult for you to acquire the material resources necessary in order to get projects done. Because wells cost money, $5,000 and up. I've seen $10,000, $15,000 to dig a well. Septic systems cost money. And these are good systems to have on a land because then you're not dependent on city water. You're not dependent on the sewage system. You're not dependent on these things. Just like solar and propane, you know what I mean? You can buy the propane, but you're not dependent on the systems. You can have a wood burning stove, so you're not dependent on the heat. I can go on and on. You know, you got solar, and these things cost money. And the price of, have you noticed, the price of things is going up. Wood is going up, nails is going up, tools are going up, metal is going up. I remember when you can get metal for $2 a linear foot. Now it costs $4 a linear foot. You think that them prices are going to go down? Listen here, I'm in constant contact with my guys at Lowe's. I'm about to go out to Home Depot because I got to get something right quick. But and the Home Depot is like a half hour away. But at the same time, you know, you can move freely. You know, you can get to these resources and get back out into your little rural crunchy setting at the same time. So, you know, before you move, have these kind of things, take into consideration how you're going to generate passive and active income. Find out how you're going to, or think and strategize long term on how you're going to do these things so that things get done a whole lot more quicker, a whole lot easier. Because, you know, in addition to purchasing things, shit happens. Cars break down. I'm going to need a new sensor. It looks like my oil sensor is going off, so I'm going to have to change that out. What if you don't know how to do that? See, I know how to do it myself on my truck, so I don't have to pay somebody else to do it. I know how to do my own brakes. I know how to do my own oil changes. But if you don't know how to do that, you're going to be paying somebody else to do that. Now, could you imagine having to do work that costs $300-400? That's a whole week's salary after taxes at Walmart. I mean, it's a joke. I mean, think about it. You know what I'm saying? That's what the net paycheck of a person that's working, fix this damn thing, at Walmart is making. And boom, tire goes out. Tires cost money. Think about these things. Really think about these things because, you know, it's not a pretty thing to be out struggling and to be in a situation where, you know, you're not making any progress. It's just not a good thing. Think long term. Develop real skills so that you can have the flexibility to go to and fro when you want to, build, and have a couple of dollars in your pocket, especially if you're building family. I mean, I just don't understand how, you know, you're trying to expand your family and you're broke. I mean, I just don't get it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, things cost money. If you want to live destitute and impoverished, that's another thing, you know, have at it. But if you want to offer a good quality life for you and your children, you're going to have to be thinking outside the box.